growing up in Portugal in a small village, I just remember going to these dances with a person playing accordion, and you go and you dance in couples. So to me, that just the simplicity of that is beautiful, and that I used to love doing that when I'm growing up and even before I started dancing. From the traditional folk dances, I would say we have the fandango, we have the vira, which is all the way north, where these women have all these like gold chains, and the traditional costume is like who has the most gold. It's like gold everywhere. So I'm using that a little bit. You can't talk about Portugal and not use fado. It's a kind of music that comes from Portugal. Fado means fate and like destiny, and it's usually very dramatic and melancholic and sad. There is some parts of the show inspired on the ocean. There's a duet that's between a fisherman and his wife, and he goes to sea. There is another section with all these women that are like widows, or just represent the older women that all wear all black because they're still mourning the death of their husbands from like 20-something years ago. But like my grandmother still did that. But with the black shawls, and they all wear black. So then I changed it a little bit and did it at the beach. So they're almost like they could be widows of the fishermen that died at sea. I didn't want to make a show about the history of Portugal. It's not about that. It's what my country represents to me. Part of that, being a dancer and having studied a lot of the traditional folk dances from north to south, it's amazing the differences in movement and energy, costumes, that the richness that we have in a lot of that. So it's getting a little bit lost. Not a lot of people are going to see anymore, unless it's like maybe more my parents' generation. Doing research for the show, not only in the dances but also the music, it was amazing what I found like on YouTube or on the internet of things that I don't even look Portuguese. Like there's some music that almost looks African, and we had a lot of influences from Arabs to Moors, Celtics, all of that. So there's like we also, there's a lot of traditional music from the north that has bagpipes. So it's like energy, the different rhythms, the different kind of music, which I use exactly the traditional music from the dance. But but then the choreography is a little more, it's contemporary, even though I used a lot of the traditional movements. It's not a new concept, but that's what I thought was the best way to do it. I want to preserve, this is exactly what the song is. Now it's my version and my take on what that represents. I kept a lot of the traditional aspects of the show, of the music and the dance in the show, but I adapted and made it my vision, a more contemporary vision of the traditional. The name of the show is actually Solido, a tribute to Portugal. Solido, which is Solido with an accent on the O. The word Sol means sol, which is sol means sun, and do, D-O at the end, means like sorrow and kind of sad and melancholic. So it's like sun and sorrow, which is pretty much a great way to describe my country, because it's happy and sunny, but the fado and that's the way I feel now. I think of my country, which is sunny and happy, but I also, there's still the sadness, of being away and all of that. So that's what the name of the show is. Yeah.